likes. I don't know, some, but you got to do how much you feel you're enjoying doing, but not oversaturate either.
Yeah. Let's see. Yochobo asks, did your views grow slowly and steadily, or did it come in spurts?
Oh, it's always been pretty steady. If you look at Social Blade and look at my stats, you'll see that my growth is a very smooth curve. And that's because of the thimble analogy. I've never had a video go instantly viral. I've never had that happen. I don't have a video yet that has over 1 million hits. I keep wondering what my first video to get 1 million hits will be, and I have an idea of what it is.
I wanted to be the Titan Rage video. God, I
oh,
hope it's that one.
No, I think it's going to be Little J builds a computer.
Oh my God.
I think it's going to be the 5-year-old builds a PC.
I think that's probably one of the videos that people like the most that you've done.
It's got the most likes of any of my videos.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that video. I'm like, wow, I'm like, I love this video.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you see every day.
Geek Jump says Jays needs his own Bendgate. Oh my God, man! If I had 80 million views on a video, I have 21 million views for the entire channel.
Not even that. It was 80 million views on a video. It was on CNN. It was on national headlines. Like,
yeah, it was on international headlines.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, but yeah, no, the building a computer with Little J, that video was, everyone loved that video.
Yeah.
I don't know how you couldn't love that video.
I think it's gonna go viral. Not viral, but I think it's gonna continue to grow. In fact, I'm gonna look up the stats right now. I'm just curious. Like, I always look at how many residual views something gets. That's where I measure like what things work and what don't. Yeah, it's funny too. You can really control a person's emotions about a video with the music that you use. And let's face it, the music in that video was very childish and happy. And it makes the viewer feel happy. You can control the person's emotions about a video. I mean, come on, when Skunkworks leaked, didn't you feel bad for me with that music playing?
Oh my God, yeah. And what video was it? It was the one that you redid. It was like it was the first like full video build you did on your channel. It was in the NZXT.
It was in the
Phantom. The Phantom, yeah.
Yeah.
That first video when you had the like rap music playing in the background.
Yeah.
Like, it just made that video feel so badass.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah,
and
it's not even to this.
And it's not even that great of a video, but yeah. See, 5-year-old builds a PC. It went up. It started to flatline, and now it's like going up, like steep again right now.
I wonder why.
It's always going to be relevant. 5-year-old builds a PC. There's nothing in that title that dates it.
That's true.
And so it's always going to be relevant. It's got 10,500 likes on it, and only 345 dislikes. 345 people hate children.
Apparently, either that or 345 people hate the build that she was doing.
Yeah. That video has earned me 2,500 subscribers by itself, and it's been shared 467 times. It's my most shared video ever.
Wow.
2 years watch time on it. That's insane for a video that's only been up for 5 months. Now the views, I mean, they're 313,000. That's not a lot, but it's not little either. But I think over the course of, let's say, the next year, it could potentially reach 1 million.
I like how someone's like 345 AMD fanboys. Wasn't it an AMD
But it
system?
was an AMD system.
Yeah. Oh, I got a good question. Social media.
Yeah.
I obviously know how important social media is to you, obviously, because without social media, you just be a guy, you know?
Yeah.
How important is it for someone to network when they're first starting up a YouTube channel, and to continue networking, and to, like, how do you network properly without being too, like, just too much, I guess you could say? I'm
still figuring out social media. You know, I've started really monitoring the stats of like Twitter. How many Twitter followers do I lose a day? How many Twitter followers do I gain a day? Because I use those as trends to see if what I'm doing is a good thing or a bad thing. It's not about saying I have 25,000 followers, I'm popular. No, it's like, okay, today I pissed off 15 people on Twitter. I don't know. Social media really is all about, it's entirely selfish. It's a selfish platform. It's all about you. You want people to follow you. So cross promotions or cross collaborations or interacting with other, like, say, content creators on Twitter, It doesn't happen a lot. I think you've noticed that. I think guys like Jerry and I and Paul and everybody, we interact a lot in our particular genre, but I think for the most part, like vloggers and streamers and stuff, it's all about them.
Yeah.
I use it quite honestly because 140 characters is much easier to read than 5,000 characters in an email. I can get through more of it, and I look at social media as being specifically the supportive group. My CES fundraising campaign.
I remember that.
I had $1,250 goal to pay for myself and my cameraman to go to CES, and I was going to offset all the cost of food and stuff to get there. It wasn't enough to cover the whole trip. I didn't want the audience to pay for the whole trip. I just was hoping to get offset of something. We reached $5,700. And you know what's funny? Before I even put the video live on YouTube, I had already reached over $4,000. Just it only went out on Twitter and Facebook. So that means the majority of the donators or contributors came from social media. I put it up on YouTube, and it barely made another $1,000. So that just goes to show the difference too of the level of support you get from your social media crowd versus your audience on YouTube. Most of the people on YouTube are like, you're a YouTuber, it's your job to make videos. Why should anyone donate to you? But your social media crowd knows those are the people who take the time to learn what you're doing and realize, like, hey, this guy does sacrifice stuff to bring us content. The least we can do is chip in $5 or $6 here and there,
Exactly, yeah.
But I also don't take donations throughout the year either. And in fact, I'm not going to take donations for any trips in the future. I promised the audience too. This was the last crowdfunding trip I was going to be doing, and I'm going to keep that promise.
There you go. You're a man of your word.
That's all a person has at the end of the day.
That is so true, because if without your word, you're nothing. And
yep.
And people. This actually brings this question actually plays into what we're talking about right now. Do you think age plays a factor in people's trust in you and your channel?
I think the tonality of your voice matters more than your age. It's unfortunate that there's some people out there who have really good content, but they haven't hit puberty yet, and people won't listen to that. It's true. People are not going to listen to a 12-year-old. Not only that, there's also this wisdom aspect of things where people are going to believe a 20-year-old over a 12-year-old. But there's plenty of instances where I know 12-year-olds who are smarter than the 20-year-old. I was one of them. I mean, when I was in middle school, I knew more than the entire, anyone in the computer lab. When I got into high school, they called me out of class to go fix the stuff. So age is just a number, but in terms of content creation, you are only going to, you're going to be entirely judged on your age, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's like, for instance, I don't know if you've heard of his name is Techlash Sprkowski.
No, yeah, I know Sprkowski.
He makes great videos.
He does,
but
all he needs to do, quite honestly, for Sprkowski, what I love is the fact that he's clearly the brains of the outfit, and he's not the older one on that channel. All Sprkowski needs to do is just keep going, because what's going to happen is one day he's going to make a video, and then the next video his voice is going to be 4 octaves lower, and then he's going to take off.
Exactly.
It sounds so shallow, but that's the audience. The audience is shallow.
How tough is YouTube competition with other tech channels?
There's no competition. Linus has 1 point whatever odd million. Jerry has almost 400,000. Tech Syndicate it's reaching 500,000. MKBHD and it's not even in the same genre as me. Honestly, he's a mobile tech reviewer.
Yeah.
Austin Evans transitioned to mobile away from PC, realizing that's where the views were. But the thing is, everybody comes to watch our videos because they want to know what Jay says about it. They want to know what Jerry says about it. They'll watch 5 videos of the same content because they want to see what each person's unique perspective to that product is. So when people will say, Jay, Linus already did this video, it's like, well, and if all he wants Linus's opinion, then watch his video and ignore mine. But I'm doing this for the people who don't watch Linus or want my opinion on top of his.
Yep. I was saying that last night.
That's why there's room for everybody in this. And I think the concept that pisses me off most from the general consensus is that people think we're competing with each other, and we're not.
Yeah, because you all feed off each other.
Here's the thing. People swear Linus... Some people swear Linus doesn't like me. I used to swear Linus doesn't like me. because I always thought Linus looked at it like a competition. But the more I turn it into a business, and the more down to business or down to brass tacks I have to get with this, I understand Linus's perspective a whole lot more and have a high level of respect and regard for him. People have been asking me tons and tons tonight, and we haven't touched on it yet, but people are asking me if I would ever consider going full-time YouTuber. Who do you think I've been talking to on the side about making this decision? I've been talking a lot with Linus about it, getting his perspective, and if Linus truly felt like competition or stuff, of course he would. He
like,
would
no,
not.
Man, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, he wouldn't be as personable or approachable about it.
Yeah.
In fact, Linus is the first guy who told me flat out, "Jay, you'll survive." So it's like there's no competition amongst us. I look at it as, if you watch me and you don't watch Linus, fine. If you watch Linus and you don't watch me, fine. But as a whole, in the PC community, we're all stronger as long as you're watching somebody in this group.
Yeah.
Because the community is stronger.
I agree. Because if one of you fails, it could cause a ripple effect between everybody else, but it doesn't. Like, you also don't want that. You don't want Linus to fail. You don't want Tech City to fail, or Jerry, or anything like that.
Specifically Linus, if he fails, man, there's 5 families affected.
Oh yeah, definitely. And more, because he's hiring more people, right? I
told him flat out, he in his position is my least what's the word I'm looking for? I don't envy him whatsoever. Because I'm telling you right now, if I had to be in Linus' shoes tomorrow, I'd be more of a nervous wreck. I'm not a nervous wreck with YouTube. I'm perfectly comfortable with YouTube. Yes, I could quit my job tomorrow and be perfectly fine. Yes, I could quit my job tomorrow, still pay all of my bills for my family, and have a huge amount left at the end of the month for savings and business. That's not the point in all of this, though. When it comes to doing YouTube full-time, I desire that, but I still don't have all my ducks lined up that I would want before going fully self-employed.
Yeah.
There's certain things I need to have in place, and last year was a big piece of that puzzle in terms of the getting out of debt. This year, it's March 5th. We already paid off a car a year early, so
oh wow, nice.
We're almost there. But at the same time, I'll be honest, I probably would have pulled the trigger already if it wasn't for this YouTube policy shit. So I'm waiting it out because I don't need to quit my job, but I don't need only full-time either over at YouTube. So I'm in a pretty comfortable position where I'm at right now. So I also don't want to put myself in any position where I'd be willing to make integrity decisions that I might have otherwise made differently because I need money. So right now it's not the right time to make that transition for me.
And also you have a family, so you can't. If it was you by yourself, it'd be a lot easier for you. But you have a family, you have 2 children, so you really can't rush into that. So you taking the time to think about that, it's you have to. You can't just rush into something like that.
I'm way too methodical. Jerry would have never done that on his own either. I don't think he was forced into it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would have either.
Sometimes I think what it would take for me to become a full-time YouTuber would also to be laid off or fired.
Because then you have no choice. It's either sink or swim.
Yeah. But I know for a fact, and even when a guy like Linus tells me, like, look, if you jumped out of the tree, you're going to fly, dude. You're fine.
Yeah.
People saying, if Linus didn't care, he'd tell you to fuck off. Guys, here's the honest. If Linus didn't care,
say that.
If Linus didn't care, he wouldn't even respond. So that's the truth regarding
He'd
Linus.
be like, oh, I didn't get the email. Like Paul.
He wouldn't even say that. Linus would just be like, I don't have time to even give a second thought about being accused of not liking you.
You see him at CES and you're like, oh, I emailed you. No.
Yeah. It's the same thing I tell people too when they accuse me of being mean to them or something. It's like, look, I don't have the time to even consider being mean to you.
Exactly. I'm so busy.
What did I tell you earlier? Finding a hole in my schedule is like trying to thread a needle with a bow and arrow at 100 yards.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's the best way to put it.
This man has to schedule his weekends 3 months in advance.
It's true.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not even kidding.
Think about that for a second.
I'm not this weekend. Next weekend, I'm going over to Paul's Hardware's place, and we're going to be starting that water cooling build we've teased.
Nice.
I had to consult with my personal assistant, aka my wife, to find out if I was free.
Oh man.
And it's not even like she controls my time. It's just because she's a stay-at-home mom, because YouTube has afforded me to have her quit her job. she does a lot of my scheduling for me.
Damn. Well, that's good. At least you don't have to pay her that much. Or actually,
It's funny.
you're allowed
If
to
somebody,
pay her more.
it's funny if someone asks me if I'm free to do something, I'll text her. And it's funny, I texted her today. I'm like, "Am I doing anything on Friday the 13th?" She's like, "You have a meeting with NVIDIA." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
I don't want to forget that. So
How did your wife? I would say your family, but your kids really, you know. they
little
go-
Jay still has no idea what I do.
Yeah, exactly. How did your wife feel when you focused from YouTube being a hobby to being something that is a substantial part of your income and actually profits you?
YouTube is. I still approach YouTube as a hobby. Here's the thing. I'm a perfectionist. I'm very far from perfect, but I'm a perfectionist, and everything I've ever done, I've strived for perfection. Whether it was when I used to do, when I used to do hot rodding or build up cars, or I used to do paintball, or when I did airsmithing when I was designing paintball parts. I mean, shoot. Here's the thing. I get into something, I get way into it, like obsessive compulsive into it. When I used to play tournament paintball, there's a company out in San Diego called Die Precision. They make the die matrix markers, and they had software and stuff that they were writing for it, and I didn't think it was great, so I started emailing them saying, "Hey, I'm a software developer. I'd like to get one of your chips." And I started helping another guy program, and we came up with custom software that Die ended up buying from us because it was a hobby that I took extremely serious. I still treat YouTube that way. My YouTube income, it is completely separate from my household income. They do not cross. They're not even at the same bank. Two different bank branches altogether when it comes to who I put my household accounts in and where my YouTube money goes. I don't spend a dime of my income for YouTube. It's all banked and invested because I'm preparing for my future.
Yeah.
And so the only time I spend money is if I have equipment failure or something like that. So my wife is pretty uninvested in where my YouTube is in terms of financial income or financial gain, because it makes no difference to her or the business account or to the household account. All she knows is that we've been together 15 years and never once have I failed the family, so she backs me in any decision that I make.
That's good.
So
Not bad. Except when you bought that McLaren, of course, right? The green McLaren.
well, NVIDIA sent that over. I don't buy things. Hey, if that is a perk of this job, is I get to build this awesome stuff and play around with it, and I don't have to pay for it. Come on, there's not a person on the planet that would turn that down.
I cannot believe that someone actually believed that they gave that to you.
Quite a few people believe that was actually sent to me.
I just can't believe it.
That's also YouTube also has created some doubt in humanity as well.
Yeah. Good Lord. I think that's about it. I think we asked everything that we need to ask. Is there anything that you want to say to everyone that has been watching so far? Because we haven't dropped below 240 people, so that's amazing.
No, I guess if you guys have any last minute questions, do a lightning round. But if you guys are considering doing YouTube, you have to do it for the right reasons. Remember, you're getting advice from a guy who started this to prove it would never go anywhere. I was proven wrong. So therefore, I never started with the intentions of making money. So when people message me saying, "How can I make money at YouTube?" I have no advice for you. I'm sorry, I have zero advice for you. If you're going to make content because you are like me, you desired to be a director of photography for movies, and you looked at it as an opportunity to be playing with a camera every day, even if it's just talking about another hobby that I have. Because YouTube is really two hobbies for me. It's videography and tech. It's two different things in one. So if you've asked yourself how you can make money at YouTube, I already can't help you. If you say, "I love making videos, I love playing with the cameras, I like editing the video and watching it and saying, at the end of the day, I made this video and I'm proud of it, even if it only has 5 views," then you're in it for the right reasons. Because if you're proud of the video, if you're proud of the content you put out, regardless of how many people are watching it, people are going to sense that pride in your work, and people are going to start watching you for it. That's where the growth comes from, is people feeling that you're genuine. You also got to put your face out there. Your face has to be on camera. In fact, Have you noticed that Hardware Canucks over the last couple of weeks has started being more in front of the camera?
Oh yeah.
Who do you think gave him that advice?
Gee, I wonder.
He came to me and asked me. He's like, Jay, you're killing it. What are you doing different? I said, I have a face on camera. It's not a pretty face, but I have a face. I have a face on camera. When you can't see the person talking, there's no connection on an emotional, personal level with the video creator. So unless you are in front of the camera talking, at least at some point, or even cutting back and forth between the beautiful B-roll that he does and him talking, because Dimitri, I mean, let's face it,
He's like
Dimitri's
the master of B-roll.
He's the master of B-roll, but he's got a sexy voice. Everything
It's
about
that
Dimitri,
accent, man.
it's
You.
the Russian accent. It's just he's everything about him is elegant. And I told him, I said, get in front of the camera. Let people connect with Hardware Canucks on a person level. Don't let Hardware Canucks just be a bunch of amazing camera work. So the moment he started doing that, he started noticing much, much more interaction.
Yeah, because people like a face. They like to put a face to the channel. That's why. That's partially why Linus got so big, is because he's always in front of the camera. Always. It doesn't matter what kind of video it is. He's always in front of the camera.
Because it's Linus Tech Tips. Without Linus, it's not Linus Tech Tips.
Exactly.
You know, Jay's 2 cents. Without me in front of the camera, it's not Jay's 2 cents. It's just another video of something.
Exactly. All right, so we had 2 more questions, and then let's see. How has YouTube opened you up to other opportunities?
Well, if YouTube ever failed, I'm pretty sure I could write my own ticket with any PC company in the world.
There you go. Get a job in a non-tech.
No. I would probably get a job for someplace like EVGA. I know it seems like I really pimp those guys out hard. I've been buying graphics cards from EVGA since the year they started. We're talking my senior year in high school. I love EVGA's graphics cards, and the fact that they're now one of my biggest hardware suppliers is just like a freaking nerdgasm for me. So when people were like, damn, Jay, how much did EVGA pay you? It's like, not a freaking dime, and I love it.
I paid them.
Yeah. No, in all honesty, you know, I am doing, you know, paid pre-rolls from them. And I can guarantee you what they paid me does not make back what I've paid them.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Over the years.
Exactly. That's, well, I mean, when you love something that much, the money is not an option, really.
Yeah. Zushiba says he never got his confirmation email from my. Never got your email from my forum. You have 2 options. One, re-register under another email. I know that kind of sucks. Or send me an email at jace2cents@gmail.com with your username that you signed up with, and I can push it through.
That's another good question. How are the forums doing? Because I remember this obvious. For people that don't know, this isn't the first time you've had a forum. You had a forum the last time, and
it was a terrible forum.
It was
terrible. You can be honest.
It was lackluster. I'll leave it at that. It was lackluster.
It was pretty bad.
But this time, it's just. It seems that it's doing very well.
I'll tell you. Let's look up at Google Analytics on the forums here. I actually don't look. Huge shout out to JK Software. JK Software is my developer for the forums, and he is
a wonderful guy.
He's my Wendell.
Nice.
Yeah, so we get about 32,800 visits a month to the forum. That's pretty big. 32,000 hits on a month per month on a forum that's just started. That's a big deal. I'm happy with that.
That is awesome.
What I'm more impressed with is the bounce rate being fairly low. The bounce rate means it's when people leave the site before clicking on anything else inside of the site.
Yeah.
So like the landing page and then clicking off, that's a bounce. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Nice. All you need for CES media credentials is a website that has content with your name on it and 1,000 unique viewers a month.
Oh wow.
That's all you need. So
that's
yeah. I see. I could be monetizing also the forums if I wanted. I'm not going to do that now. I might have to in the future. But I get 222,000 page views on the forum a month. So
wow.
those are a lot of impressions there that could be monetized. But again, I don't feel like putting ads all over you guys.
All right, and Giving TNT has been asking this question. We've always been talking every time that he's posted. So he goes. He says he has a fairly new idea about doing reviews and donating the money to charity. but I am a French native and I have fairly good English. I don't see much French tech reviewers. So I don't know if it's about French not worth it, or basically he wants to know if he should do tech reviews in French or English. Which one would be better?
I've got to support this one with numbers. Here's the reality of it. America is who's watching YouTube. Of course, the entire world is watching. However, if I look at my viewer demographics, hey, my female viewership's up to 1.9 now. Oh, sorry.
Nice.
It was 1.4 yesterday. All right, so United States is of last month's views, which consisted of, actually it's only 28 days. How many views? Let's actually see how many views that is.
Everyone's like, not North Korea, not China, North Korea.
Yeah, no, I have 0 subscribers in North Korea.
Oh, damn.
I couldn't tell you how many views though. The only people that are watching me in China are on VPNs, by the way.
There you go.
Okay, so of my 2.4 million views in the last 28 days, or 2.2 million views in the last 28 days, 918,000 of them are in the United States, 227,000 of them are in the UK, 129,000 of them are in Canada, 100,000 in Germany. Guys, French isn't even on the top 10, and that's all I can see.
Damn.
So here's the thing. English-speaking countries are the bulk. If you do a French channel, you can know you're doing yourself a good service by saying, hey, I'm doing something for the French-speaking, but you just need to know that the channel is never going to be big. It's simply because you have extremely limited the amount of people who you can market yourself to. I'm sure there are more French people who speak English than there are English people who speak French.
Yep. Well, that's good
Yes,
to know.
yes, I know Canada
Kim
has
Jong.
the French-Canadian side of it. I'm half French-Canadian.
Kim Jong loves tech talk.
Oh man, you know, I just watched the interview the other day with the wife.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh no, I'm saying I get the joke. It's like I'm his what was the name of the show in that movie?
Oh, Jake Skylar or something.
Yeah, Skylark.
Yeah.
Whatever. Skylark Live or whatever. It was like, I'm Jake Skylark for Kim Jong Un here on YouTube. Yeah. That movie was pretty funny, actually.
I liked it. I thought it was really good. It wasn't the funniest movie ever, but there were definitely parts that I'm just like, all right, I would have rented this anyways. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Someone, King XXX King 40 says, seriously, you're French Canadian? Never knew. Well, I mean, I'm white. Can you tell? I'm half German and half French Canadian.
Oh,
my mother is moved here from Germany.
Jay, you're a firework.
What does that mean? Am I going to explode suddenly?
Oh god.
Pretty dancing colors.
Oh god. But yeah, so I think that is about it for tonight.
That was a fast 2.5 hours.
That was right. Like when you said an hour and a half, I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. I think we'll get. I'm like, I think we'll get everything done in an hour and a half. Nah.
Problem is, I love talking, so I could go forever. That's the
Oh
problem.
yeah, no, me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like last night with Josh. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter to me like what time it is. I can always keep going.
Yeah, but I thought maybe you should get someone on here who actually knew what they were talking about. So.
Oh, shots fired! I don't even think he's in chat right now either. I don't think.
No, that's fine. I told him yesterday I was actually heading into the gym when we were going live, and he had messaged me asking if I would share it out, and I said this is for new people or small channels. I said, do I qualify? He's like, yeah, you should watch. You might learn a thing or two.
Josh is so good with the instant comebacks. It's amazing, and I love it.
He catches me off guard, and I'm usually pretty good with them too.
Oh god, I was watching him today on Pimp My Setup, and he just had this one thing that he said to Matt. He just caught him off guard. I was like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
How do you deal with hate in the real world, not through comments and trolls? I mean, what?
I don't get hate in the real world. I conduct myself in a way of which I would want people to treat me, and if someone's an asshole to me, it's the water on a duck's back. It doesn't bother me.
And have you seen Jay?
You know what's
Jay's
funny?
not small. Like no one's gonna walk up to him to start talking shit to him.
What's funny is there was someone at work not that long ago that accused me of not liking them, right? I they even went to management and everything. It was like, I have a problem with Jay. He doesn't like me, so we don't get along. And I was like, I got called into a meeting, and I was like, really? I started laughing. I'm like, really? You think I don't like you? Newsflash: I don't have time to give two shits about whether I like you or not. So HR was like, you can calm down just a little bit. I'm like, no, here's the honest truth. I didn't even know that you even like that you and I even had interactions happening here until this happened today. But I've got real work to do. So if we can get past the playground bullshit, I'd like to get back to my job, please. I don't deal with that. I don't have time for it. I don't do drama. If people want to pull me into drama, I'm like, peace out. You guys just have a nice day. But for the most part, when it comes to like random people, random people don't screw with me.
Yeah, no, you are not a small man. So I would.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. There you go. But
yeah, the camera's deceiving. You can't tell how big I am here. But yeah, I'm
because most of the time you're sitting down in the video.
And especially when I'm now that I'm losing weight and I'm actually really leaning out and doing the heavy lifting on top of it. Especially now that I'm forcing myself to look in the mirror more, because that's one of the things you have to do when you're losing weight is force yourself to see yourself. I'm realizing just how much I look like I'm scaled up in life. Like, it just looks like, if you guys know Photoshop, it looks like someone went Control-T on me and dragged the corner.
Oh, God.
I look like I just am like 1.5% of a person. or 100.5%, whatever. 150%. Yeah, there we go. Like 1.5 times. There we go. Just
I like that analogy. I like that.
Every single person who's ever met me in person, whether it be at CES or Micro Center, Fry's, walking around the street, McDonald's, riding my bike, PDX Land, have all said the exact same thing. You are a lot bigger than I thought you were.
How tall are you again?
I'm 6'4". But the thing is, it's not just my height. It's the fact that, yeah, I'm pretty fat, but I'm built like a shit brick house too. And I mean, I am completely dense in the head as well, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
he's got a very thick skull.
YouTube wants me to do Arnold, but I have no idea what I would say.
What would you say? I don't know.
I would tell him, "Fuck you! You don't tell me what to do. Now you don't control me. Knock it off. The window's open. The neighbors think I'm crazy now because of you, asshole." It's not a tumor. Might be, but it's not a tumor.
Well, there you go. I think that we will end it on that note.
My window is open. I'm sure the whole neighborhood heard me. I'm
Someone's
pretty loud.
gonna call the cops in like 5 minutes. That's it.
When I do that, it's pretty loud.
I can imagine. Either that
part
or
of the
only.
The wife went to bed. Part of the only reason that I'm able to pull off Arnold is because I have to actually like really raise the intensity of my voice, and the only way I can do that is to get louder. And I'm not a quiet person.
Oh man, that's so fun though.
Yeah.
It's fun yelling sometimes. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was
so
fun.
Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you doing this.
I hope I was able to help somebody tonight. You never know.
I think you did.
There's two things that keep me going. One, if I'm able to say something that changes the path someone else takes and it's for the better, like Holiday Doc, he said something to me that has literally changed my life. If I'm able to do that for someone, great. I also look at it this way. For all I know, and this sounds so freaking cliche or cheesy or like, oh, Jay, you're just trying to sound like an amazing human being when you're really a piece of shit. No, I don't know. If I could potentially be talking to some young kid right now just getting into tech who goes on to fucking cure cancer or something in the future because he got into a technology path.
Yeah.
I could be talking to someone who's going to make legitimate changes in the world because of my influence. So that is a drive like all in its own. And I've been telling myself that way in the beginning. I have proof of that with conversations I have with other people saying, I could be talking to the next fucking Bill Gates for all I know.
It's very true. You have no idea. You have no idea who your reach can affect.
Yeah. Here's another shitty part of getting big guys. I'm not trying to extend this conversation.
No, go for it.
Another shitty part of when you have a huge audience too is you do occasionally get the emails from someone's spouse or someone's parent letting you know that someone who really loved your channel passed away. So
Oh.
that actually happens quite a bit more frequently than I would like to admit. But yeah, it's you know, I've even had people like send me obituaries or even like programs from their funeral of, you know, so and so passed away or died or was hit by a car, got sick, cancer, whatever. I don't even want to know of the amount of people who've subscribed to me, how many people have actually died, because that's kind of a shitty thing to think about.
That's rough.
But that's all things you have to take into account when you start getting, when you're one person and there's hundreds of people talking to you and trying to get at you. Not everyone's there to tell you about how great, you know, they like you or how much they don't like you. It's sometimes they just want to let you know, like, hey, thought you should know, you know, this and that.
And you're
So,
like, oh, well, sorry. Like, there's not much you could say to that.
yeah, but it's also hard too, because you get a lot of people too who will message you and, you know, they'll tell you like, you know, hey, I'm really sick and it would mean a lot to me if you message me or whatever. And sometimes it's not to be cynical, but part of you is like, are they telling the truth, or are they trying to pull at your heartstring? You know, and Boogie gets a lot of that, especially since Boogie talks about depression and suicide all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's God, the mail that he gets. Holy shit, I wouldn't be able to do it.
That's a whole different league right there.
Yeah,
Because Boogie's a personality.
but I get a lot of that on my my vlog channel though. In fact, I think I might do a vlog tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I have a subject I want to talk about.
Nice.
But on the flip side, because the vlog channel, if you guys have never seen my vlog channel, it's Jay's Says, JaySays, and I just talk about stuff. Lately, it's been about the biking and the weight loss because I kind of have the Go Team Jay thing going on. But I've got hundreds of videos up there of just me talking about things like depression and bullying, my life story, my finances, getting into debt, getting out of debt, you know, marriage troubles, all that stuff. Because it's important for me to get it off my chest, and people appreciate that. There are some people who have, it's happened a couple of times, and one of them I stayed in close contact with, who've told me, you know, your vlog channel is the reason why I'm still here, because they were contemplating suicide, started watching my vlog channels and started reversing their thoughts, and then were like, I just wanted you to know you talked me out of suicide without realizing it. And that is like, okay, that's when you need to realize the people you're making these videos for, whether they be vlogs or tech or whatever, they're real people out there. And it's hard to remember that sometimes when all you see is text on a screen or pixels. You know, it's like that person who just called you a piece of shit, they're going through something, you know? So it's like, remember too, when you're making videos, you're making them for real human beings to watch.
Yeah, it's very true. Because you don't know what someone's going through. Because someone could just have a really shitty day, and they go and they take it out on your video, whatever. But everyone's always going through something. You never know until you actually get to see what's going on. So
yeah. Well, you know, what I really like is every now and then I'll get a message from someone saying, hey, I started watching your channel in the beginning and then I kind of fell out of love with it and I unsubbed, and you know, I just came back and I love what you're doing and I resubbed, and it's like, hey, welcome back.
Yeah, really, welcome back to the fold.
Yeah. There's also too some hardcore trolls that have like literally gone out of their way, way out of their way to troll me, who are now dedicated supporters.
Wow.
That is like, that those in themselves are like, you know what, trolls they're part of YouTube, but at the same time, anyone can change.
Yeah.
And there's two names, I won't say them because I don't want people to know that they were trolls, who are very active on my Twitter, and they're very active in my channels, and one of them is actually an aspiring YouTuber now who was like, I trolled the shit out of you in the beginning, and and this person actually went after my daughter. In the trolling comments, and that's what got me to respond, because they went after a weak spot. Yeah, and this was back when I had like 10,000 subs.
Yeah.
They recently came back and wrote me a very, very lengthy email explaining, you know, the shit they were going through, and they sincerely apologized, and it wasn't right. Would I please consider unbanning them? And I did, on like a probationary basis. And not only that, now they are truly supportive of my channel.
Wow.
So yeah, they're two of my biggest fans right now were previous hardcore trolls.
Huh. That's happened to me before, with streaming, and I have a rule when it comes to trolls in my chat. Like nothing gets to me. Really,
Yeah.
you could say whatever you want about me, but you know this. There's nothing that you can say about yourself that I haven't said about myself, right?
Right.
Like, there's nothing you can say that I haven't said about myself already.
Hmm.
So
It's like making the fat joke before someone else does.
exactly. So my thing with trolls in my chat is, if you're gonna troll me, at least make it entertaining or make me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Be unique about it.
Exactly. Be unique. And everyone that frequents my chat knows, if you're going to troll me, make me laugh, or just make it something unique.
Yeah.
And a couple guys would come into chat and they would troll me, and I would just, it wouldn't really bother me. I don't care. And that in turn got them to come back again, and then they would follow me, and now every time I stream, they're always there.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, you didn't freak out when I trolled you or whatever, and you're actually pretty cool, so I'll stick around. So
yeah.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, trolls in themselves are like a sociological study.
I mean, one of your best friends is a giant troll. Jerry is a huge troll. Let's be serious now. He is. He loves trolling the trolls back.
Yep.
So.
Well, the difference is who initiates it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's the reactive troll and there's the proactive troll, and the proactive trolls are the ones we all hate.
Oh yeah. But Jerry loves that though.
Yeah, but he's learned too that he can't fight back with them as often as he used to, because it becomes to the point to where that would be his full-time job.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, the bigger the channel gets, the more trolls there are. If you guys get lots of dislikes on your videos or something, ignore that. Quite honestly, we all would love to have a video that has nothing but likes and no dislikes, but that's not real.
It doesn't matter what the video is.
And there's going to be people who are going to have multiple accounts, and they're going to be like, oh, I can dislike this video 4 times, and it's going to mess with your head a little bit. But you just learn to ignore that, because I know that I'm going to maintain an amazing like to dislike ratio, and I care about more what the people who like my channel are saying when it comes to criticism.
That's what matters, really.
Jabber16 says, Jay, we have no idea what your bad side is like. In my mind, you are perfect. Let's be honest, your videos are fantastic. Go watch the vlog channels.
Yeah.
Go watch the vlog. You'll see my moments where I'm just like, I fucking hate life. We all have that person we think has the perfect life, but behind closed doors, they're really a psycho killer.
Oh,
I'm not saying I'm a psycho killer, but I mean, I guess you never know. But
oh god, that would be a plot twist.
See, on the surface, it looks like I've got an amazing job, an amazing YouTube channel, amazing family, amazing kids. I come home and it's like Leave It to Beaver. But that's not real life. That's not real life. It's really not. I mean, sometimes I go and pick up little Jay from school, and the teacher's like, we have to have a talk about your daughter. And it's like, oh, great, here we go. And then, then I get home, and it's like the baby's screaming her head off, or dinner burned, or I go to ride my bike and the wheel breaks. And it's like, we all just go through our shit. It's just, unless you're following the vlog channel, which isn't as active as it used to be, but it's more active than it had been recently. I think you would admit that.
Yeah.
Why on my tech channel would I put forth any of that stuff? It's not relevant.
Exactly.
I'm not a vlogger, and I don't feel the vlogs have a place on the tech channel. That's why I started the second channel, which it's like, hardly any views or anything, but still.
You have a decent following on there. You have.
I mean, the view to subscriber ratio is really high. Like, it has like 7,000 subs and it gets like 2,500 views. So that's a good ratio.
Because those are people that genuinely just care about.
Yeah.
You. That's it. The tech is like the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. Someone said they sent me a preview of something they're working on for me. How often do you look at your emails?
All the time, probably. You probably have a full inbox right now.
I'm curious as to how many emails I do have. I have 455 unread emails right now.
That's a lot. I'm very OCD with my emails. I have to clear them out every day.
Yeah.
I can't have leftover emails.
That's impossible. I think, but if what you sent me was, I think you were working on a logo or something for me, I haven't had a chance to respond for it. Just know that if you're trying to design a graphic for me to use, if I like it, I am willing to pay you for it. 2, keep it in mind that it would have to be something appropriate for a shirt. So something like a YouTube background or something like that. I'm not really looking for anyone to design me a new YouTube background or a header graphic. I'm looking for like stuff I could use on a shirt design. Yeah.
Oh, and someone asked before, when are they going to see Jay's 2 Cents t-shirts?
I just haven't had the time to even to do it yet. I mean, revenue for the startup isn't a big deal because the company that everybody's using now is the same guy that Logan uses.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They're
Everybody's using him.
The shirts are amazing. They're absolutely amazing in terms of softness and the ink that they use and stuff. It's actually inked on the shirt. It's not like a press on or an iron on.
Yeah.
Like Spreadshirt does. The t-shirts are heavy duty, like quality shirts. Like Spreadshirts feel like super thin, like you can tear them like Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it's initial startup cost is about $2,000 to do the first order. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't have the time to put together the designs and stuff. I know I want a hashtag Jay's a dickhole shirt with an appropriate picture of some sort.
Oh god.
Could you imagine the graphic?
I can totally imagine the graphic right now. That's be terrible.
I think old school followers would understand the Jay's a bump hunter or Jay's not a bump hunter, topic. But other than that, I'm not sure yet. I'm really not sure yet what I want to do with that. I'd love to have a store, but right now, since everybody's launching their stores, sales would be kind of sucky too, where I'd be sitting on $2,000 worth of shirts. So I'm just waiting.
Yeah, but it also depends though, because I'm pretty sure you'd have a good amount of people that would just buy anything that you put your name on.
Probably, but I don't think I would sell $2,000 worth right off the bat, and I don't want to be sitting on an inventory right now.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys. So you want to know if he's getting a shirt? Eventually, sometime soon, he will get a shirt. We don't know yet.
Eventually is the worst answer ever, but it's the only answer I've got.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to say no because you're not going to want to close that off, and like you kind of want to guarantee it, but you don't at the same time.
We're gonna do the Jay's 2 cents biker shorts.
Oh my god!
It just says Jay's 2 cents across the butt,
and straight down the front it says Jay's a dickhole.
There you go.
Oh god.
Is it realistic to start a YouTube video to get products to make builds with? Absolutely not. Nobody's going to send you anything if you have no audience.
Yeah, what are you going to say in the video? Send me stuff? No.
That's all wrong. Here's what's going to happen. One of the responses I got when I had 1,000 subscribers. I know 1,000. I'm not saying 1,000 like it's nothing. There's plenty of guys out there who would probably give their left nut to have 1,000 subs right now. But in terms of the company's perspective of a channel that's 1,000, that's nothing. And I remember asking for a company for something once, and they replied back with, and here's the thing: sometimes the rejection is just downright brutal. This company said to me, "Why would I send you something when I can yell out the window and reach more people?"
Oh.
So it wasn't really called for to be told that, but at the same time, it's true. If you don't have an audience that makes sense for them to reach, don't think you're going to start a YouTube channel and people are going to send you stuff just to make videos on. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's just mean. That's not even tasteful. That's just mean.
But here's a plot twist. Are you ready for this? This particular brand has probably spent more money on my channel than anyone else.
Oh, that is a plot twist.
That's a plot twist.
Hashtag plot twist. Wow.
Yeah. But that also ties back into one of the very first questions. How do you handle rejection? You just keep going. You're persistent.
If you've never gotten rejected, you've never tried.
Yeah.
Or I think the popular version of that is if you've never failed, you've never tried.
Well, I mean, didn't Edison say he learned 99 ways or whatever not to build a light bulb? Something like that.
And then Tesla came along and just perfected everything. But I could talk about that for a while, but
yeah. Good going EK. No, the brand wasn't EK.
No, oh my god. Now everyone's gonna be wondering who it is.
I don't take monetary from EK. I just take product.
EVGA confirmed.
EVGA confirmed. No, Jacob's been the most laid back guy I've ever worked with.
Who how do I want to word this? When you go to shows, right? Who do you look forward to seeing the most? Like when it comes to not vendors, I'm talking about people that work at the companies. Who do you look forward to seeing the most?
Josh is always fun to hang out with. Rajiv at Cooler Masters he is extremely chill. Rajiv is very well known in the industry amongst all the brands, even competitor brands. He's just so laid back. He's very yeah, bro, whatever you want, man. We'll have some fun with it. He's like, I don't care. I like that. I don't like when companies are very structured. Hi, Jay, I'm such and such from Taipei, and we were looking for interest in, and we were wondering if you could send us a proposal and, estimated views. And it's like, no, I hate that. All the companies I work with now, those conversations all come out in the down to earth discussions that we have.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, you want me to write you a resume? No, I'm cool, thanks. YouTube says Cooler Master, chill. That works. I get it. I see what you did there. No, Rajiv came from MSI. He used to be the rep for MSI.
Oh.
And then he moved over to Cooler Master.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, I like Rajiv. I like Josh. Jacob, hung out with him a bit at PDX. He was fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit shyer though, in terms of like getting in front of the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of shy, but in terms of like off camera and stuff, I mean, he's come over to my house, and come in here and mess around with Skunkworks.
Did whoever was supposed to come over your house come over? You said someone was supposed to come over your house and bring you product or whatever it was. I forgot what company it was.
I've had a lot of people over here at my house.
Was it? Wait, was it Canon? I think you were talking about.
It was going to be a personal
Like a
demo and product demonstration and usage. I know I called that off because I went buying a C100 Mark II right now for $5,000 for just the body, the most responsible thing to do.
Yeah, it's because it's kind of expensive.
It's not the money; it's the fact that it doesn't even do 4K.
That's sad. When a Galaxy S5 does 4K and that doesn't, it's just God.
Yeah, but I mean the quality of the sensor on the C100 Mark II in terms of low light and for 1080p ProRes is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if the future is making that pendulum switch to 4K, I want to be ready for it. Blackmagic, no, screw Blackmagic. Low light, terrible. Blackmagic is for like studio sets where you have proper lighting and stuff, not for shows.
Oh, okay. So so perfect. You're a camera guy. Okay, and when it comes to cameras, you know almost everything. Okay, I just recently got a DSLR, and it's my first DSLR ever. And I'm pretty sure there are other people in here that are in the same boat as me. So what would you say to someone that is like the new to DSLR, and like what are like little tricks that that you can give not only to me but to everybody else, and see like little tricks you could do to make your videos look a little better, and because what you were saying before, like yeah, you can make a video on the webcam and it looks fine, but you can't really get that close detail. But so, yeah, go for it.
Lighting is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Most DSLRs are going to be crop sensor, which is like a 1.6x factor.
Mm-hmm.
Full-bodied, full sensor cameras like a 5D Mark II, or any 5D, or a 5D Mark II or Mark III, which does videos. Bigger sensor, more light sensitivity, better videos in low light. DSLRs, especially on Canon and Nikon that are crop sensor, you've got to pump light into that glass, especially if it's a kit lens. Like if it's a lens that came with the camera,
yeah,
you'll see that it's rated in an f-stop, like f 3.6 or 3.5 to f 5.6 or whatever. That's the amount of aperture that the iris is able to open up to allow light in. And Che, are you speaking English? Not right now. I'm not. My check for you would be to get as much light in there as you can, so you don't have to buy a new lens. Cheap Home Depot lights, like those $10, half circle like aluminum can lights.
Yeah.
I still use one of those. It has a flesh tone lamp. You can see it up there. See right there?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
I have my studio lights and stuff in here, but that has a flesh tone colored bulb in there, which I shine on me so that I don't look all white, like fleshed out with the super white soft lights on me, softbox lights on me. That's $10. I used to have like 6 of those in this room, and that's what I use for lighting. F-stop, that's going to be your friend. That's how you get that nice blurry background, that depth of field called bokeh.
Yeah.
Bokeh, and the lower the number on the f-stop, like f2.8 or 3.5 or whatever your lens goes down to, the more shallow your depth of field is, which means things in the background will be more blurry. But also, it's also the smaller portion of the image that you can get sharp too. So if you're doing extreme close-up, that's how I can have like the front of a graphics card be sharp and the back is like super blurry. because I get really close to it, and then I focus rack on the front of it with a really low f-stop. Like I have a cine lens on one of my other cameras here that's a f1.5, and the lower that number, the more light that gets in, but the more blurry it's going to be in the background. So there's always a tool for the job.
Good to know.
Yeah, never shoot on auto, even for video. You want full control and learn how to control it. If you want to know how to do it, go to Film Riot's YouTube channel. They're amazing guys. They're so freaking funny, and they teach you about all the movie making techniques and all the videography techniques.
Oh, nice.
And they apply to product reviews. It's no different if you're shooting a person or a product.
Yeah, basically the same thing, basically.
Yeah. Can you simulate that in software? Not even close. There's no software out there that can reproduce a glass-generated bokeh or depth of field.
Yeah. When do you need to upgrade equipment? I think I know what you're going to say, but...
When you feel the equipment is what's holding you back, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. Either that or when it's broken.
Yeah, when it's broken, you want to take it as an opportunity to get something better if you can afford it. A perfect example, I was about to spend $5,000 on a new camera body, and I didn't because I realized I'm not being held back by my 70D. The only thing I can't do is shoot in 4K, and right now, to me, 4K is a bit of a... it's too cutting edge right now.
And like 90% of the people can't view it anyways. Yeah,
because... shoot, I want a 300 megabit connection. Every now and then 4K videos don't load for me. In fact, every single time 4K videos won't load for me. I have to watch 1440p.
Yep.
I've yet to get it all the way through a 4K video because it keeps buffering, and I have a 300 megabit connection.
And like when it buffers, it basically like the whole video just stops.
Yep.
It's very annoying. But
yeah.
at that point, there's no reason, because think of all the people that can't even load it to watch it.
SC Shooter says, where did he say to go learn about videography? Film Riot or not. I don't know if they have a .com, but Film Riot on YouTube. They are freaking hilarious.
Yep.
In fact, they were the inspiration for my transition, because he has a little thing that comes down and goes, logo, and then it like flies away from the screen. So that was the inspiration for my transition, actually.
Nice. 4K on YouTube isn't really... No, it really isn't, because there's so many people that can't watch it.
Yeah.
It's the same with streaming in 1080p. It's not worth it. People
have started moving on to Ask Me Tech Questions. I'm not doing tech questions, guys. This is YouTuber aspiration questions.
Yep.
Or Asperger's, whichever.
Asperger.
It's the same thing, really. You'd have to have Asperger's to want to be popular on YouTube. If you don't, you're not doing it right.
Or you have to be, what do you call it? You have to be narcissistic, too.
You have to have a certain amount of narcissism. That's why it's amazing that I ever grew on YouTube, considering I'm unwilling to even promote myself.
Yeah, well, that's why people like you, because you don't sugarcoat things. You're not going to bullshit people. You're not going to lie to people, and that's why people like you. That's why people trust your opinion so much. You know, when they go to you for a review, they know they're going to get the truth, but that's also kind of like a double-edged sword too. Yeah, you know, they trust you, so they take your word as gospel. And then... Yeah, no, I'll say the same thing to that I say to everybody who's like, you know, Jay, I always follow your advice. It's like, please, for the love of God, don't follow just my advice. Take everybody's advice and come up with your own perception of what this product is, or whether or not you need it. I tell people all the time, please, watch my videos and then watch 2 or 3 others. Because you may find out my video was a bit biased towards subjective. Yeah. You know? We all are biased to some level, and we try. And as reviewers, we do our best not to be. But the only reason we can say we don't like something is because we have a preference, which is a bias. It's impossible to be completely 100% impartial. So you have to watch several videos or written articles or whatever about a product to decipher whether or not it's something you really want. That's why I tell people there's plenty of room for all of us, and that's why we all do the same content matter at times. Yep. Especially when something's new, you have to expect that you're going to get 15 of them in your inbox. Oh, yeah, definitely. AC Productions, we already answered that question, but I'll answer for you again. He says, what is a good way to find out what tags used for a video? And Jay said, Google search it. Whatever comes up, use that. Google search the topic. If you're doing a video about Cooler Master Silencio 352, go to Google, put in Silencio Cooler Master Silencio 352, and see what
biggest results are. If those results all have some sort of keywords that are standing out in them, like, silence optimized or whatever it may be, then use those in your tags, because that's the same search engine used on YouTube.
That's probably the best advice that I've heard so far tonight. One of the best things, for me at least, I would say.
Have you ever sat there looking at the title, blinking, and looking at the tags and going, I don't know what to put in here?
All the time. Every single video, I'm just like, what am I going to put in here?
Yeah.
And then every so often I'll put something in there just to fuck with people. Just because, like, put llamas, because, whatever.
Sociopath says Jay tells it like it is, or at least he sees it as he sees it. No matter what, I know Jay says his honest opinion. That means a lot, because there's plenty of people out there every day who do their best to try and convince me that I'm either a shill or a sellout or just completely biased, and that's not true.
Yep.
The problem is when you say you like something, especially if you're enthusiastic about it, like the fans, people automatically become a little bit leery of, is he paid to say that? Which the reason why they're leery, and I don't blame them for that, the reason why they're leery is because there's plenty of people and forums out there who take money to give an opinion. They take money to say they like it. That's sponsorship. Like I said earlier, I don't do that. I never will do that. I don't. I won't go into any specifics. Let's just say I turned down someone who was ready to write a very large check to buy a part of my channel. This was a while back, maybe November. Standing in my front yard, someone wanted to write me a check to become a part owner of my business, and I turned it down because it would no longer be Jay's 2 cents.
Yeah.
So I'm not tooting my own horn. I just want people to understand that if there's at least one of us on YouTube who can't be bought, it is me, because someone already tried. And let's just say that McLaren could have been mine if I wanted. And my integrity has no amount of zeros behind it. I'm sorry.
I like when people say that you're biased towards one thing or the other.
Well, I am. We all are.
Well,
but to some degree,
when they say biased, like you're like you get the AMD
blind loyalty.
You get the AMD crap all the time, right? People, but also there's so many people that don't realize that you started your channel with AMD.
Yeah.
You start off with an 8350 and you would stream overclocking that.
Like that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was funny, because it's just like, how do you like you can't comment on something that you obviously don't know.
Well, it's because they didn't do their research.
Yeah.
They're making an assumption based off of a first impression that they got. And if the first impression is that I like really high-end hardware and I love my X99 systems, you're right. But it doesn't mean I dislike AMD.
I love your X99 system. It's not even mine.
It's because it's fun to poke fun at AMD at times. Just because I think AMD's approach to their marketing sometimes comes off as a bit childish and silly. And so it's fun to poke at that. And when you poke at that, people take offense to it.
Yeah.
You know, the people who are biased take offense to that and then fire back saying I'm biased.
Yeah.
When really their entire perception of me being biased is because of their own bias.
Exactly. Everyone has some sort of bias.
Yeah. We can call it preference.
Preference, exactly. Bias. Yeah, I don't really care for bias that much. Like, it was Phil DeFranco. He said it. He's like, I don't have a bias. I have an opinion. I'm an adult. I can make my own choices.
Yeah.
So when I like something, it's not because I'm biased towards it. It's because I like it, because it's my opinion. And he's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So. But yeah. So truth now. Do you have a good time?
Oh, YouTube says, I had a great time. He says, I hated the Cooler Master voice in your recent ad. Hey, you got to give a little bit of love to that, because that was done by Deadpool He Plays. He's the one who did it.
Yeah.
We just did it for fun. I told him, I said, hey man, you got a minute? And he's like, yeah, what's up? I said, you don't feel like doing a voiceover for me? Because he's done some voiceover work for me before, and he's a professional voice actor. And so I said, I said, here's a script, and I wrote the script for him. I said, I want you to do this in like a, Sunday, monster trucks. So that's what he came up with, and I showed it to Cooler Master, and they were like, LOL, okay, whatever, bro, just go ahead and use it. So they approved it. We had some fun with it, and people hate it. So the more that people hate it, the more I want to play it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, the inspiration behind that was, to be like Monster Rally, be there, because we've all seen that, right?
Oh yeah, always.
So that was the idea behind it. But I am actually updating that ad this month because the competition is progressing, so the ad needs to change with it.
Yeah.
So
Now, someone asked, do you watch your own videos?
only when I'm editing them.
You don't watch them after you post them?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Every now and then I go back and watch some of the old ones just to kind of see how far I've come.
Mm-hmm.
But the only videos I rewatch, honestly, which was the entire reason I started the channel, was my vlogs.
Oh wow.
That's why they're dated, because every now and then, if I look at like right now, it's March 5th, 2015, here in California. I can go back and look and see what was I doing March 5th, 2013, 2 years ago, and I can watch that video.
Yeah.
Or at least one near it. Like something within a couple of days, and I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. And oh, look how small Little J is. Look how far we've come. That sort of thing. That's the only videos I rewatch.
I always watch my videos at least once, and it's not because I want to watch what I did. I watch it to make sure that there's nothing like catastrophically wrong with the video, and like the annotations at the end are working fine, and all that stuff. Because some I don't know what happens sometimes. Like you'll upload a video. The video when you finish and it's done rendering, you go to upload it, it's fine, but you'll upload it to YouTube and then it's just something goes wrong with it.
Yeah,
that happens every so often. So
I wish I could watch more of my videos. I'd probably find more. See, here's the problem. One of the reasons I don't watch it is I always find all the jokes later. I'm like, damn it, this would have been a perfect place to put this joke and this and that. Because I don't script anything in terms of like the off-the-cuff stuff. I only script the highly technical videos that I don't feel like repeating 16 times to get it right on camera.
Yeah.
So I always end up writing the best jokes after the fact. And I can't write jokes in a script because then they don't come off natural. So, yeah, it's hard.
It's coming up and just...
Yeah, it's hard, but what I do wish I could do is I wish I was less shy at doing my voiceover or my voice work, because Deadpool and I have talked. Like he's a professional voice actor. He's got much more of the radio tone and whatnot. But I can do some pretty good impressions in terms of my vocal range, and even he's commented on it, like, wow, you're actually pretty good. But I'm too shy to do that on camera. Like Arnold has made quite a splash, but like the other day, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I busted out a little bit of Cartman, and people were like, holy shit, your Cartman sounds good. And it's like, I just, whatever.
Like, nah, it's just, it's just a little thing,
Yeah, that's just a little thing I do, but
just whipped it up,
I've been doing voices since I was a kid, though, because it all came down to the whole like thing about making videos and making movies and all that. It's just the whole. I guess I should have been in theater.
Theater.
It's a theater Saturday hour. Yeah, I don't know. There's still quite a piece of me that's shy every time I get in front of the camera, though. So
I was never shy when I got in front of the camera. I was never shy. Actually, no, that's a lie. The only time I've ever been shy was the first time I got on camera while streaming. That's when I first got shy, because like you said before, streaming is a completely different beast than YouTube.
Yeah.
If I screw up in a video on YouTube, I can just edit it out and whatever. But if I say something stupid on stream and there's people watching, it's pretty much just there. There's not really.
And I was the opposite. Live streaming was more comfortable for me than doing the videos. Yeah. Yeah. See, now the problem is now everyone's demanding that I say this or I say that. And here's the thing: it's hard to put even a professional on the spot. I'm not a professional. Like even if you ask Deadpool, he's like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to say now."
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, now everyone's watching. But when it's organic and you just bust it out. See, I've done Arnold so long. I mean, I could say anything I want as Arnold. It comes out natural. But some of the other voices I haven't practiced as much in my more adult years. Like in high school, I used to have so much fun because I could pull out a random voice out of nowhere and screw with the teacher, and the teacher would turn around and be like, "Who said that?" And the class would just like completely go along with it, and I would change it up, and people were getting mad, but they never knew it was me, because my speaking voice is just so normal. You wouldn't think that I could do quite the range.
That's usually people that can do really good voice acting usually have an average voice.
Yeah.
Because it's a good basis. I love impressions, and I love people that can do really good impressions.
You know who my vocal idol is.
Who?
Is Frank Caliendo?
Oh, I love Frank Caliendo. He's so funny.
His favorite impression he does of mine is the John Madden.
Oh my! I remember listening to one of his comedy CDs, and the first time I heard John Madden, oh my god! I almost pissed myself. I was laughing so hard.
And the way he's just drawing all over the screen, and it's always like, boom, tough act and connected, just like out of nowhere.
He's using all those different slogans. Just
yeah. He's so good at it. And he was one of those guys that was discovered just from like local nightclub kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Saturday Night Live and all that stuff. So
and then he exploded and then just disappeared.
Yeah, and he just sort of but here's the problem with a vocal impressionist like that. You're kind of a one-trick pony. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So eventually it wears off because everyone's heard your thing, Yeah. Somebody was asking, Cell Processing was asking if I can do Christopher Walken. I've been working on it, but he's not easy to do.
Walken is so tough.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of people know this, but I love Christopher Walken. I love his voice, and I just love everything about him. And doing a good Christopher Walken is so tough because there's no rhythm. There's no form that he has.
He's 100% unique.
Exactly. Like I heard something. Whenever he does a script, he takes all the punctuation out of the script.
Yeah.
And just says it the way he wants to say it.
Yeah.
And
he has to though.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Deadpool does a pretty good Christopher Walken.
I've heard his is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, he also does a really good Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman is so tough.
Yeah. You have to get very throaty, very bassy.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Paul does a good Hank Hill like he put in there. He does a very good Hank Hill.
Yeah, we all have our best, and for me, Arnold's kind of my best. Even though Arnold does, if you listen to Arnold side by side with me, I don't sound really anything like him, but I sound like the more cartoony version of him. Things that you wish he would say, like when he's like "rubber baby buggy bumpers," it's like what does that even mean? But he said it, and it's funny.
Was that English?
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Fuck you! Get out of here! So. It's you look at you imagine he's 6'5" or 6'4", no 6'3", or he was, now he's 6'2", he shrunk.
Something.
And you think about it and you're like, oh my god, if this guy all muscly buff and stuff just like walked in and all of a sudden was saying that, you'd probably laughing your ass off.
Yep. Oh god, I love accents like that. I love it.
Yeah.
My goal in life is to do a spot on Christopher Walken. And I'm like you when it comes to Christopher Walken. Like I can't do a Christopher Walken and just be quiet. I have to like be loud about it because that's how he is. He's so loud.
But that's hard because
exactly.
But Christopher Walken, for the most part, though, isn't loud. He's very soft spoken. And I didn't even realize he was a comedian for so many years because I had seen him things like Sleepy Hollow and whatnot, where he played an actual bad guy.
Yeah, and Batman too.
Yeah. Okay. They're asking if this is going to YouTube.
Yes, this will be on YouTube.
It'll take 16 hours to convert over there.
The other Josh's stream took. I started uploading it at. Oh God! What time did I start uploading it? I think I started. It finished render. It rendered for 4 hours. And then I uploaded it at 11 o'clock.
You don't have Twitch set to just move it over?
Well, with Josh, I had to take because I don't know what happened last night. My internet was crap last night, and so I had to take the first part and the second part and just sing them together. So that was just one video for everyone just to go watch. Like with this one, I could do that with this one. I could just upload it straight to Twitch. That's not a problem. But with that one, I had to actually cut it together, render it, and then upload it. Yeah. And I think it took about 5 hours to upload.
I believe it.
And I have a pretty good connection. I have 29 up, almost 30 up.
Yep, more up than I do.
Yeah. And it took me that long. I'm just like, all right, well. Luckily tonight the connection's been solid. I haven't dropped a single frame. I don't know what was going on last night.
It was just Josh.
I think it was. I think it was because I was the whole time I was talking with Josh, I'm gonna say about 80% of the time, my eye was on the little corner right where OBS is, the little green box, watching it go from green to yellow to red, green to yellow, red.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, I ignore that Skype box all the time. Like right now in our box, it says white, but anytime I'm connected to Jerry, it says yellow. But that's because he's on a VPN.
yeah, and Jerry has like 3 connections
Yeah,
that just equal one decent connection.
yeah.
So, but
Well, I think it's time to 3 hours and 15 minutes of the
I
stream.
know.
These people have been spoiled tonight.
they're on a marathon.
Jeez.
But I had a good time. You had a good time?
I had a fantastic time.
It's been a lot of fun. I hope that everyone in chat learned something and they took something away from this. You were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say that I was going to play some games tonight, but I had more fun doing this. So again, the game suffered.
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes the games have to suffer, man. That's okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really hope you guys had a good time. Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to everyone that's hung out for so long, because I know it's been a long time. But this is what happens. Like you get together, you just start talking, and it's just like time just flies. Really, it's
Paul says it was an awesome show 2 hours ago.
But Paul's the same way. Paul would just start talking, just like not stop. So
Yeah.
but it's okay. Do you want to let the people know what you're working on right now, or
Shit, what am I not working on right now?
what's the next video they can expect?
I don't know.
Oh.
I see. I used to plan them all out ahead of time and be like, on the 10th I'm doing this, and on the 15th I'm doing this, and on the. But the problem is when you come off the heels of like CES and then for me like PDX LAN and stuff, it just turns into like a FedEx and UPS hub here, and things just keep coming in and coming in and coming in. Things are coming in now that I don't even remember are coming in, and so it's like I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I know I've got 3 systems to build. One of them are highly custom.
Oh, I saw that. That thing looks amazing.
This little Parvum build right here, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it when I'm done. Don't say giveaway if you guys are banned.
Everyone's gonna say, and I like how it's upside down.
Oh yeah, reverse ITX.
I love that.
But that's getting fully water cooled. I actually have the R9 290 in there, but I think I'm actually going to be putting one of my the water cooled G1 970 in there, because I only have room for a triple or a double and a single rad. I'm afraid the AMD card's going to get too hot.
Ooh.
So anyway.
Oh, one more quick question, which I forgot to ask way before. Someone asked if you ever had a product that you reviewed, that you were going to review, but didn't post the video because it was so bad.
You got to talk to the vendor first before you even make the video. If you're having that much of a problem with the product, give them an opportunity to respond to the problems you're having. You may have a defective product. That's happened to me before, where they'd send me something and it turned out like, wow, this is just not working right. And like, for example, like that keyboard and mouse emulator thing.
Yeah.
So that turned out well, but there's been some times where the product was like not turning out well, and they were thinking to themselves, okay, well, thanks anyway, Jay. You don't have to put up the video. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to answer me. Is this a defective product, or is this the product? Because if this is the product, well, then your video is entirely going live. Most of the time, it's not been like major PC component hardware companies. It's like some of those like, Chinese battery manufacturers and that sort of stuff, to where putting up the bad video wouldn't have even been beneficial even to my viewers, considering the likelihood of somebody looking at that exact product and wanting to buy it was not really high. So I would give the company the opportunity to send me a revised product, and it's happened before where they send me an updated product and it turns out to be good. If you've already created the video though and you have nothing but bad things to say, respect and courtesy deems that you should be communicating with them before you even got to that point.
Oh, all right.
The only time I could see you putting up any kind of a review that includes negatives without letting the company respond is if you were specifically reviewing customer service.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like I'm doing with Rosen CPU, or have done and have already now filed my claim against them.
Oh, yeah. Someone wanted me to ask that before, but I'm like, you're not really going to know more than anybody else, right?
I know more than everybody else. I just can't say it.
Oh, well, that too. There you go.
I know the entire story of when that went down, and it's mostly because I did that video. People inside the organization came to me and was like, "Here's the story. We trust telling you, but please keep it a secret." They proved they proved who they were to me, so I believed them. They undoubtable proof, whatever, without a shadow of a doubt who they are. Personal thing going on with the owner of the company, and unfortunately, it's hurt the company very, very poorly. So. They are trying to rehire though. It's just the people who were running Cruise and CPU and made it what it is are not going to be the people that are there anymore.
That's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
So
No. I mean, the people who made it a good thing are not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
The self-destructive owner is the one running things. He was an absent owner, and he had a management team that ran the place. Well, he kind of came in and was like, "I'm running things now," and then we see the way things went down. So yeah,
That's insane.
Pretty terrible. So, but performance PCs though, they've I'm sure they took it a little bit as an opportunity to be like, hey, frozen CPU's down, so let's start working with Jay. But I don't care. I'm a water cooler and I need parts. So all I can say is I've been shopping with performance PCs for years, and I have thousands of dollars worth of purchase history with them, that if someone ever challenged my integrity of like, oh, now you're just pimping performance PCs, and I've been a customer since 2006 and I can prove it. So
this is before you guys had computers. Psh.
Yeah.
Please.
Before you guys were even getting your butts wiped. I don't know.
Alrighty, so we're gonna call it a night now.
Yep.
And like I said, everyone in the chat, thank you so much, Jay. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, no thanks. I enjoy doing this. Now you get Jerry in here, and you'll get an entirely different 3 hours of advice.
I definitely would, because
he's gonna be like, follow the shiny stuff.
Because Jerry would be really interesting actually, because he has a lot of very different views on a lot of things.
You know what though? I love Jerry to death, but I think most of it he's gonna be like, I don't know. I'm just going.
I'm just a guy that does stuff. That's it.
Fly in here. Go away, fly. Yeah, he'll just be like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I know that because that's what he's told me.
Exactly. All right, stream. I hope you have a good night. It's been fun. Jay, say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye to the nice people.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Yeah.